The next thing that we need to do is to generate the bibliography, which the MLA style calls works cited page. To do that, we need to first create a page break. Now, there are several ways in which we can create a page break. One way would be to go to Insert. In the Pages group, we could click Page Break. Now it tells you that if we wanted to do this from the keyboard, you could press Control Return. So I'm going to do Page Break from here. Okay, and now I see that I'm on page 3. Now I'm going to do backspace, 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 and back to where I was before. Let me scroll up a little bit. I could have done the same thing by doing Control Enter. So now I'm on the next page, and I just forced a page. Next thing is that I want the words in here to be centered. To center, I could go to the Home tab and then click on Center, or I can do Control E from the keyboard. So that's what I'm going to do. Control E, and now I type the words Works Cited. Okay, and I press Enter, and it automatically takes me to the next line, and I'm also in the center position within that line. Now I'm going to do Control Left, Control L to go to the left, and I'm ready to generate the bibliography. At this point, I can go to References, Bibliography. If I was creating the bibliography from scratch, I could pick this already given styles, but since I already have a heading in here, I'm going to pick Insert Bibliography, and it automatically generates the bibliography for me. Now if you look in here, you'll notice that this is already in alphabetical order. Okay, and you'll also notice that this is indented in a different way from the way we indented the paragraphs. This is called a hanging indent. Whenever you have the first line of a paragraph stay against the margin and the remaining lines of that paragraph move over to the right, that's called a hanging indent. Okay, so this automatically generated a hanging indent. Now I can see that if I click over here, the first line is lined up against the margin, and the next few lines are lined up half an inch from the margin. Now sometimes after you generated a bibliography, you realize that you want to change one entry in the citations that you have already created. Well, in this case, I would like to have the word measured distance in here as part of this title. Now to do that, I can go to References, Manage Sources. I then find the reference in here, so it's this one right here. So I click on it and I edit, and now I'm going to put the word distance in here. Once I've made my changes, I click OK. Okay, this source exists in your master list and current document. Do you want to update both lists with these changes? I'm going to say yes, and then I'm going to click Close. Now it should have made the change in here. For some reason it didn't. Now everything was changed except the page on my screen, so I need to update this particular field in here. To do that, I can right click inside my bibliography, and when I do that, I see an option that says Update Field, and when I do that, now my bibliography shows with the correct words in here. Now Microsoft Word 2010 has some of the rules that have to do with the MLA style, but it's not completely up to date. For instance, the entries that appear here in underlined format now need to be italicized, and also each one of the references in here, you need to state the media that it was taken from. So if it was a book, then you have to say that it's print media. If it's something that came from the web, then you need to say web. So now in this case, I'm going to select the words that are underlined, but when I try to do that, I can't. And even if I try to make the changes, it would always go back to this. So I need to have a way to actually turn this field in here back into regular text. To do that, I have to use a keyboard shortcut, which is Control Shift F9. So I click inside my bibliography and I do Control and Shift, hold them together, and then press F9. And when you do that, we just turn this text right here back into regular text. Okay, the field into a text. So now this is regular text. So now I can select these words in underline, remove the underline. I could do that from the keyboard by doing Control U. I need to put web. At this point we need to save our work once again. So I'm going to do Control S, and again, every time they give the order to save, you end up saving under the same name and in the same place that you saved before.